Hi there, this is Ranjit, and in this video we'll be doing the camera comparison between the new OnePlus 5T and the OnePlus 5. And I feel this is the biggest difference between these two devices because internally, yes, the screen aspect ratio is a little bit different. The new OnePlus 5T has this modern 18:9 screen aspect ratio, but the camera, though on paper both of them are having the dual camera setup, the older one also had a 16 and a 20 megapixel shooter, and the new one also has a 16 and a 20 megapixel shooter. But the way OnePlus is going about it is entirely different. Actually, this is a new sensor, and the second camera lens is not a telephoto lens. But it's still a 20 megapixel shooter. But OnePlus is actually utilizing that camera in low lighting conditions, whereas that was not the case with the original OnePlus 5. The original OnePlus 5 had a telephoto lens. It was a 1.6x crop, but they were cropping to 2x. So I've taken a lot of sample shots and video with both these devices so that we can figure out if the camera is really improved on the OnePlus 5T. And just for fun, I also had the iPhone 10 with me, so took some sample shots in very low lighting conditions. Even with that, I'll show you those samples at the end of the video. So let's figure out which one has a better camera setup. So this is the first test using the front facing camera. On the left we have the new OnePlus 5T and the OnePlus 5 on the right. And I'll be switching between the audios so that you can get an idea and you guys be a judge. Technically speaking, the front facing camera is almost similar in both, but you guys let me know if you notice any difference. This is in harsh sunlight. I'll just move to a shadowed area also to see how it handles exposure and other stuff. Now we are in a shadowed area, so this is a very quick sample with the front facing camera of the new 5T and the old OnePlus 5. Do let me know if you notice any difference, and we'll also shoot a video in indoor lighting conditions in the later part of the video. So here are the pictures side by side, and initially if you notice there's not much difference between the two, but look at this picture. This is regular zoom, but the OnePlus 5 had that 2x zoom. So I shot these pictures at 2x zoom. Again, not a lot of difference that we notice, but now I zoomed up both the images at 250%, and you'll notice that the image with the OnePlus 5 is a lot more clearer. Notice that bar graph and the grills, they are simply more clearer with the OnePlus 5's picture. Both have bokeh mode, but with the OnePlus 5 it actually uses the telephoto lens to get that bokeh effect. So the pictures are slightly zoomed up when we take the pictures with the depth or the bokeh mode compared to the OnePlus 5T. Also, when you use the depth mode on the new OnePlus 5T, the pictures are more saturated, whereas it's more natural with the OnePlus 5. When it comes to close-up macro shots, I feel both these devices are actually doing a good job, as you can see with the samples. Here are some more sample shots that I have taken with the OnePlus 5T, and as you can see, it did a good job. Now doing another test. This is in 4K, and both of them actually employ electronic image stabilization. But again, just doing this test to see if there is any noticeable difference. Bringing this close, and yeah, looks similar. Let's see, focusing again here. So both of them are doing a very similar job. But one thing I'm noticing immediately is that look at the frame. It's not as wide on the OnePlus 5T, where it's a lot wider on the OnePlus 5. Let me use the zoom option. I'm using the zoom option on both. As you can see, obviously it's the optical zoom on the OnePlus 5, but it's digital on the 5T. And again, now doing the walk test so that you can judge. Let me just go back and you be a judge. Which one do you think is doing a better job, or is there any significant difference when you shoot the 4K video? Now moving to indoor lighting conditions, in this picture both of them did a good job. Here slightly the OnePlus 5T image is slightly sharper, and this is sort of low lighting conditions, and both did a good job. But here this is very low lighting conditions, and here clearly the OnePlus 5T is having that edge. So that new sensor that they have is performing a lot better in low lighting conditions. This again is very low lighting conditions taken with the OnePlus 5T, and it was in the auto mode, so the flash fired. But here I disabled the flash, and I was also having the iPhone 10 with me. So here are the sample shots side by side. And as you can see, I was also very surprised with the results. The OnePlus 5T, even very low lighting conditions like this, is doing actually a very good job. Yes, in this picture, the iPhone 10 did slightly better, but the OnePlus 5T is giving it a tough fight. Now moving to the selfies, I forgot to disable the beauty mode on the 5T, hence it's slightly smoothing up the skin, but you can disable that in the settings. This part of the video with the front facing camera of the OnePlus 5, and as you can see, this is in artificial lighting conditions in my office. And this will be great for people who are just trying to do vlogging, etc. in artificial lighting condition. We'll just go outside now and see how it handles abrupt lighting situation. We'll also test similar thing with the OnePlus 5T. And in this room, we have just one tube light over there. So this should give you an idea how would be the video recording with the front facing camera of the OnePlus 5 in artificial lighting conditions. Sample is from the OnePlus 5T's front facing camera, and one thing that I noticed immediately is that this one is not as wide as the OnePlus 5. I have to stretch my hands slightly a little bit, but again, as you can see, this is also in artificial lighting conditions in my office, and the audio is also being recorded via its internal microphone. So let's just go out and you guys be a judge and let me know in the comment section which one do you think is better, or there's hardly any difference between these two. And now in this room we have just one light, so this should give you an idea how would be the video recording with the front facing camera of the new OnePlus 5T in artificial lighting conditions. So what do I feel regarding the camera performance? As you saw, in fact, the earlier OnePlus 5 also did a very good job. In fact, this has an advantage if you use telephoto lens a lot and you want to zoom in, then this will be slightly better because the new OnePlus 5T is using the digital zoom. But apart from that, I would say in low lighting conditions, clearly the new OnePlus 5T has an edge. The new sensor is doing a fabulous job in artificial and particularly low lighting situation. And I was surprised that it could even compete in low lighting with the iPhone 10. So certainly a OnePlus has improved the camera performance in low lighting situations at the expense of that telephoto lens. So again, I feel this is a good smartphone, but again, if you already have the OnePlus 5, I don't see this one as a compelling upgrade. But if you're looking for a new smartphone, so if you take a lot of pictures in artificial lighting and indoor lighting conditions, clearly this OnePlus 5T would give you better results. And around this price point, I feel this one as of now is having the best camera performance. So that's it for now for this video. I'll also be posting the full in-depth review for this OnePlus 5T very soon. So if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. This is Ranjit and I hope to see you in my next video.